What makes a woman truly magnetic? Is it her appearance, her accomplishments, her charm? Or could it be something far more subtle? Something almost invisible but deeply felt? Could the greatest power of a woman lie not in what she does or says, but in the purity of her soul? Welcome back to the channel. I'm honored you're here today, because what we're about to explore is not often spoken of in popular culture. Today's world celebrates noise, glamour, hustle, and visibility. But there's a kind of woman who doesn't need any of that, because her power doesn't come from what she shows the world, but from what she quietly cultivates within. We're going to dive into the life, mindset, and presence of a woman whose soul is clean, not in the sense of moral perfection, but in the sense of clarity, authenticity, and inner alignment. She is rare, she is subtle, and she is unstoppable. Let me introduce you to Clara. Clara is not famous. She doesn't walk into rooms and demand attention. She doesn't dress to impress or speak to persuade. But wherever she goes, people feel calm. They feel seen. They feel safe. There is something about her that can't be faked. You see, Clara has done the work most people avoid. She has faced her pain, sat in silence, forgiven deeply, and walked away from what didn't align with her values. She doesn't carry bitterness. She doesn't compete. She doesn't gossip. She doesn't manipulate. Her soul is clean, and that makes her dangerous in the best way. In a world full of noise, clarity is power. In a world full of performance, authenticity is power. In a world full of chaos, calm is power. And Clara embodies all three. So how does a woman cultivate a clean soul? What does it even mean? Let us explore. A clean soul begins with self-awareness. A woman who understands her own patterns, shadows, needs, and wounds does not project them onto others. She doesn't expect others to fix her, validate her, or complete her. She takes responsibility for her inner world. This makes her relationships healthier. She doesn't create drama. She doesn't test loyalty with games. She communicates clearly. She holds space. She knows how to be alone. She knows how to walk away with grace when something no longer serves her growth. Second, a clean soul lives in alignment with truth. That doesn't mean she is perfect. It means she is honest with herself and with others. She doesn't pretend to be someone she is not. She doesn't lie to be liked. She doesn't shrink herself to fit in. She trusts her intuition, even when it's inconvenient. And people can feel that. You can't fake groundedness. You can't fake inner peace. You can't fake the kind of presence that comes from knowing who you are and being okay with that. This doesn't mean she doesn't have boundaries. In fact, her boundaries are strong but not reactive. She doesn't need to scream to be heard. She doesn't need to dominate to feel safe. Her energy speaks for itself. Third, a clean soul practices emotional hygiene. Just like we bathe and brush our teeth, she tends to her inner world. She notices when bitterness is building and addresses it. She forgives not to excuse harm, but to free herself. She reflects, she prays, she journals, she breathes. She cleans the clutter of resentment, envy, and comparison. This makes her light. Not naive, not weak, but light. You can feel the difference when you're around her. There is no tension in her presence. No hidden agenda. No performative kindness. Just realness. And that realness is magnetic. Let me tell you about another woman, Sophia. Sophia went through a devastating divorce. She lost her home, her finances, her social circle. For a year she was lost. Angry. Scared. But one day, sitting in a small apartment she could barely afford, she asked herself a simple question. What if this pain is a doorway? And that question changed everything. She stopped blaming. She stopped obsessing over what was taken. She started tending to her soul. Morning walks, quiet prayer, honest conversations, therapy, art. She began to strip away everything that wasn't truly her. 2 years later, she was still living simply, but her energy had changed. She smiled more, laughed freely, held herself differently. People noticed. Opportunities came. Relationships deepened. But most importantly, she liked who she had become. Sophia didn't just survive heartbreak. She used it to clean her soul. And that's the power most people miss. We think strength is about achievement. But often the most powerful women are the ones who've cleaned their hearts of resentment, cleaned their minds of noise, and cleaned their lives of clutter. They move through the world like water, gentle, but unstoppable. Let us talk about leadership. A woman with a clean soul leads differently. She doesn't control through fear. She inspires through trust. She doesn't manipulate outcomes. She aligns intentions. She doesn't climb by stepping on others. She rises by lifting others. Her leadership isn't about titles, it's about presence. She listens more than she speaks. She observes. She protects the energy of the room. She knows when to step forward and when to step back. And when she speaks, people listen not because of her volume, but because of her clarity. She has nothing to prove and everything to give. That's rare. Because we live in a world that teaches women to perform, to be likable, to be impressive, to be beautiful, to be accommodating. But a woman with a clean soul is none of those things on command. She is simply herself. And that, ironically, is what makes her unforgettable. Let us be honest, this kind of presence takes work. It means saying no to things that feel good but drain you. It means walking away from relationships that feed your ego but starve your soul. It means turning inward when the world tells you to keep achieving. It means choosing peace over drama, truth over image, stillness over performance. It means being misunderstood. It means not being everyone's favorite. It means growing in the dark when no one is watching. But the reward? You become free. You become soft without breaking. You become powerful without dominating. You become wise without aging prematurely. And you start to attract not people who want your performance but people who recognize your essence. That's the highest currency in the world. So if you're on this path and it feels lonely, keep going. If you're cleaning your soul and losing people, keep going. If you're choosing stillness while others chase validation, keep going. Because you're not behind. You're ahead. You're becoming the kind of woman who doesn't need the world's approval to feel worthy. You're becoming the kind of woman who doesn't need to shout to be heard. You're becoming the kind of woman whose presence transforms a room without saying a word. That's rare. That's sacred. That's revolutionary. If this message spoke to your heart, let us know in the comments. What does it mean to you to cultivate a clean soul? What practices keep you aligned, honest, and free? And if you found value in this video, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to be reminded of her inner power. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.